Hey Geek, so if you are new to the world of Panasonic cameras, or maybe you're thinking about getting one specifically with their newer model starting with the S5II onwards, then you probably already know that they finally fixed their autofocus issues by providing a phase detect hybrid autofocus system. And I have my Panasonic S52X full frame camera. I've been using it for more than a year now, and I could safely say that this is really awesome, especially compared to their previous contrast-based DFD system, which I absolutely hated. And honestly, I could never really use it. I would use manual mode practically all the time. But now that we have this autofocus system, I have no issues in shooting these type of talking head videos or videos where I want to showcase an object in front of my camera and then it goes back to my face. And so today I'm going to be showing you how to set up your autofocus settings to where you could get this and have it reliably focus on you, and it's super easy to do. So let's go ahead and head into the camera and I'm going to show you how this works. Okay, so this is how you're going to set this up on your camera, and for most Panasonic cameras they're going to work the same. So if you look to the back of your camera, there should be a button that looks like a grid, and once you press that button you're going to have access to the AF modes, and these are all the various autofocus modes, and typically by default you're going to have the full area, which works really good if you're going to be in a large area and there's not too many other people or moving objects around. And then there's other things like tracking, there's zone, one area plus, and these two other ones, they're grayed out. But the one that I recommend is zone. So as you could probably tell, this is what I am using right now. But once you choose zone, you're gonna have two other options below that. There's AF detection on and off, and then there's AF area, and then finally you could actually set this. And so what is the AF detection on and off? Well, if you press up on your dial, you could turn that on or off. And then if you press the display button, it's going to give you options to all the various AF detection options. And so by default, it's going to be for human. You could do human eye and face, human body. At least for me, the human eye and face works well. But if you're going to be outside or you're going to be shooting yourself, then the human eye and body probably works better in that case. And then we have animal, car, we have motorcycle, train, and airplane. But at least for me, for the type of videos I shoot, I typically just leave that on the human eye and face. So that's the first thing. And then below that is the AF area. So if you press down, this is this box right here. Okay, so you could move things around by just moving the cursor up, down, left, right. But you could also increase or decrease the size. So on your top dial, you might have to play around with it to see which dial works on your camera. But this allows you to increase or decrease the area. And depending upon how large you want it, that is going to be the area. And if you have it in a really small area, that might be good for certain things. But if you want a wider area, specifically if you're going to have other things in the area that you want to focus on, definitely make that larger. And this is currently the largest that I can make it. And I want to have it in the middle. I'll go ahead and press the middle of the dial. And now it is set. So now I have the area. And the way it works is pretty simple. So you just put your object in front of it and it'll focus. As you can see there, it focuses. And then here's something a little bit smaller. It focuses. And then as it says, this is zone area. So if it gets outside of the zone, outside the box that you designated, it's going to get blurry. So that's why I choose this. And so that way, anything in the area stays focused. And whenever I'm showing an object, that's actually what I wanted to do. But there is one other thing. The whole AF subject on and off, AF detection on and off, that's a big thing, because right now the default is to track human eye and face, which is great. But if you're doing these type of videos where you have objects in front of it, if you're not blocking your eye and face at times, it might still try to focus on your face versus the actual object, even if it's in that same area, as you can see there. So I'm in the area, but it's still focusing on my eye and face, and then it kind of focuses on and off. And so to avoid that, you just go back to your modes and then make sure you turn that off. AF detection on and off. I'll turn it off. So that way it is just purely on whatever's in front of this box. Okay, so right here, see, so right now it's not trying to detect my eye or my face. It just looks at whatever's inside this box And if something is further in front of it, that's what it's going to focus on. And at least for me, this is probably the one that I use the most. The only disadvantage is if you were to accidentally have your hand, like your finger, somewhere in front, it might sometimes accidentally focus on your hands like that versus your face. So like I'll be talking and then my hands are moving and then it accidentally gets inside this area, and then for that moment I lose focus on my face. And so you'd have to be kind of aware of that, and depending upon, once again, the type of videos that I shoot, that's where it's going to make a big difference. So in general, if I know I'm going to be shooting videos with objects in front of it, I'm just going to go ahead and turn the AF detection off. And then if I am going to be shooting just primarily talking head videos, just to make sure it's always on my eye and my face, I'll go ahead and turn the AF detection on. And that's it. That is all that you have to do to set up your autofocus mode. And there are other settings for autofocus, including the speed, but at least for me, this is going to work for the vast majority of people for all these type of talking head object videos, or even for vlogging. So if you actually had any thoughts on this or any other ways in which you set your autofocus on your Panasonic cameras, be sure to leave in the comments area below. And if you did want to see my previous videos using my Panasonic S1II, I'll leave that in the description area below. So as always, if you did get value out of these videos, be sure to share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you on another episode.